Hello and welcome to another video where today I'm doing Truth or Dare in VRChat. Now, I guess there's some things I have to get out of the way because this is, first video of me doing Truth or Dare, in VRChat, although I've done Truth or Dare maps before on stream before, but given that this will be the first video of it, there's a few things I'll need to go through. My general rules: if I fail a Truth or Dare for any reason, it's going to be added to the list. A concept I came up of. Everything that I've failed, whether it be this video or previous streams, will eventually have some sort of ultimate punishment to be fair, that I'm not succeeding in these. That one day all my failures will, come back to haunt me for not succeeding. So, failure, dare, truth, and usually the dares, I will pay eventually. Whenever that is still yet to be determined, because I have no real way of doing a punishment thing right now without, full evidence. So yeah, it'll have to be, decided one day and, made up. But one day I will pay for my failures. And yeah, and I guess the other is, if there's one that I can kind of answer but not really fully, it counts relatively. I usually count ones that, I've answered 12 times because I've done this a lot at this point. Just not on video. But yeah. Anyway, those should be the rules. If there are any others, I'll bring them up during the video. But let's start off. Oh yeah, and this is technically also a rule, but not really a required rule, just a general rule where I go truth, dare, so on and so forth. Unless the truth or dare requires me to switch it up or do multiple truths or multiple, dares. But yeah, that should be basically all the rules and stuff out of the way. Let's just get stuck into this, because this is probably going to be the next 2 hours. And starting with Kevin MacLeod's music. Brilliant way to start. Anyway, initialization of ball game has been successfully completed. The next move will be with the question. Alright. That. But I was confused about that before. Now I think I'm understanding that's just a general, hey, the game's activated. I thought it was that I had to make up a question for a person or something. Alright. Oh, and already a repeat. This is not why wanted to happen when I was next in the map, and now I'm here and doing a recording for it. Hopefully this recording stays. Doesn't have to be cut. But this is just the first question. Let's not jump to conclusions, but dress for a date. Yeah, again, I feel like, yeah, again, Basil is always a good example. Although I didn't notice the first time, Basil has no shoes. He's just got his feet out. Although, like, not really feet. He's kind of just, you know, dream entity. I guess dream entities don't really have proper feet. But then again, that might just be because it's low poly. But yeah, Basil's always a good example of something where it's like cargo pants, but also like a, you know, casual, you know, shirt. The suspenders are purely optional. His suspenders look, but who knows, it could be interesting, as I said before. Oh yeah, and once I open the thing, it sends me sing weirdly. Undyne goes to the heavens. Have you ever imagined myself without clothes? I don't have to imagine when it's myself. Like, so have I ever had I don't know, a dream or thought where I thought myself as naked? Probably. Probably. Well, looks like I'm getting married again. Let's do this bit again. At least this time it's for recording. Although streams on YouTube stay forever, but do you, I did the reverse bit before. What bit can I do this time? I guess I'll use the other variant. Do you Undyne marry a gym outfit, you know, Undyne? I do. And do you, gym outfit Undyne, marry regular Undyne? I do. Then you may kiss the bride. Mwah, mwah. But yeah, I have once again married myself. Yeah, again, I've lost count of how many times I've married myself. The true question is, how many times have I divorced myself? Have I just stacked up a lot of marriages with 0 divorces, or have some of those marriages of me with me cracked under pressure and divorced myself? I honestly would not know. Did me start to split into clone me's? Yeah, and I do have a clone me, supposedly. Don't know where they are, but me and Clone Me have gone through some turmoil together throughout you know, these things. You got access to Joanne Rowling. Oh wait, Joanne Rowling, like JK? I didn't realize her name was Joanne. I thought it was something different. Yes, I never knew. Yeah, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Never read the books, never read, not read, never watched the movies. Only probably seen bits and pieces. Like spoiler bits. Like Snake killed. Not Snake, Snape. God damn it. But yeah. Dumbledore. Had to delay the reveal. Oh my god. What would I pose? Just ruin everyone's life. Just be like, magic ain't real. Harry was never real. He was a schizophrenic. Something or another. That just makes people hate JK even more. I don't feel like, you know, it's really needed. And Joanne, I never realized her full name. I guess I've always just heard her as JK. I guess assumed the first name was something else. Is it really Joanne? I feel like I need a check. It is. It is Joanne. I guess I just heard JK more than her actual name. I thought it was something else. That is very interesting. Laugh as the devil. Alright. I'll also change avatar to be more devilish. I guess I can do this as Luna. And try and do my most evil laugh. So, let's I am the devil. I shall take your soul. Alright, yeah, that should be good enough. which person in the room will die first during the apocalypse? I'm the only one in the room. So thus, I shall die. I will be the one to be dead. I mean, all there is this other anime girl. Offer. I'm already my own husband. So now I'm extra husband for an hour to myself. So yeah, only husband for an hour. I guess divorce was gonna happen, but sooner than I was expecting. The divorce happened quick. If you had the opportunity to stay the same age forever, what age would you choose? I mean, the brain fully develops at the age of like 25, whatever. I feel like, you know, that's probably, you know, a good age given you're still in your 20s, but you're not early 20s, you're like mid 20s, so you're not really too close to 30, so probably 25 would be a pretty good age to stay the same age forever if I had the opportunity. It means that I get the benefits of basically being young without being too young. And before, you know, body is, you know, potentially starting to lose certain important parts, so yeah. I feel like 25 is a pretty good age. An age that I have not, you know, hit in my life. I'm still just 22. Soon to be 23, but that's in July, so yeah. Ask myself how I both love and hate myself, but I've said it in that way before. I both admire and feel disgust to myself. Yeah, that's a new way to say it. Because yeah, and it's just the truth of life. Love and hate intertwined. Because do I really hate myself? Maybe not that much. I only actually be disgusted if I did, you know, a disgusting thing like, how did this happen to you and me, we were supposed to be good. How did we do bad? We weren't supposed to be Anakin Skywalker. We only joked about being Anakin Skywalker. How did we become Lord Vader? Anyway, from whom in this room would you like this? Yes, I will steal my own girlfriend. Yes, I will do that. As I am the only one in the room. So thus, the only person I can steal from is me. So I will steal my own girlfriend. I guess I'm stealing it back from the clone. After what happened in the other one. That wasn't in the video. Where the clone and whatever had and theoretical girlfriend had a relationship. Tell myself a list of dirty phrases that fit myself. I want to know dirty phrases. Just have to make up once. What would fit me? I don't know, like a phrase like, I'm so crazy that I'm like, radiation spill, toxic spill? Is that even hot? I mean, it'd probably be, I guess, hot to someone. Because, yeah, again, humans can be into anything. And that can mean literally anything. Like, someone be into chairs or something. But yeah, I don't know, there's at least one. I'll count it enough. Just because I'm not particularly any good at it. And don't want to get probably too risky. Do you think? Yeah, and I think I'd be anti-villain and actually, be an anti-villain. Because I would do bad things for good reasons. I mean, like, with my own character, Michael, he canonically killed all world governments to make a real democracy. Doing a bad thing to cause good results. So yeah. If I do that with, my character, what will I do myself if I had the power? Show on okay, breaking up a relationship, even though I've never been in one yet again. Alone. But if you want to break up, you gotta do it, just right. you know, you don't want to go, you know, the ghost route, but you gotta, like, probably, you know, carefully ease into, you know, a breakup. Like, have a situation where it's, you know, more, you know, I guess relatively formal and serious, so you can hopefully try and ease them, you know, to break up, because you honestly no longer have the feelings that you once, you know, once did, so you want to tell him, you know, the truth, and, you know, not really hide it, not really ghost or whatever, you know, not really, you know, jump around too much, but don't be, you know, too blunt at the same time. You gotta be, like, fine, like a knife, you know, carefully, you know, cut through, like if it was actually more like a scalpel, like a surgery would be a better metaphor. Carefully sliced through so there's as little pain as possible. Because there's never going to be some pain on both sides, because you probably were both, you know, did care about each other, but it can't be a, you know, love relationship anymore. Hopefully you can still be, you know, friends at least, but you want to, you know, carefully, you know, ease to, you know, break up. It you know, really depends on the person, because some will, you know, take it easier than others, and some you definitely need to have more a delicate touch, because there'll be one reason or another that will make it harder. And that's no fault of you or them, like, it just is how it is. And sometimes you gotta be more delicate. You just kind of have to, you know, judge, you know, in the moment, you know, how careful you have to be. Like, if you're just going to be relatively careful or very, very, you know, refined careful. Either way, you gotta be careful no matter what. And just ease into it, not, you know, sort of pussyfoot around. Not lead them on or whatever. What's the worst night of my life? Probably, yeah, in that night where I felt like, you know, every, you know, mistake sort of came all at once, where, you know, I was overthinking to hell and back. That was so bad that, you know, yeah, again, it broke me. That broken became absolutely broken, like, it shouldn't be possible to break something that's technically already broken, but that's what happened. And yeah, again, there's a night where I realized everything's screwed. Like, despite my best efforts with, talk topic stuff, who knows sometimes if the positive stuff I want to happen, for humanity will ever happen, because things are screwed one way or another in some aspect. It'll be hard for humanity to find true peace. But yeah, that was probably the worst night. Think of a lover message from... What sort of lover message would I make? Probably just like trying to be, natural, lovey-dovey, whatever that would be for me. Because, I'm not even certain. I haven't been in a relationship, so I'm not entirely certain I would make up. I don't know, just probably simple stuff. Like, love you in some degree, and I don't know. I feel like I want to be more creative than just love you. Because of how I am as a person, I feel like I would want to add something more to it. It's porn. I guess this is probably subjective. But I guess hentai stuff is probably why I consider dirty. And yeah, again, I'm not really a hentai person. Like, not really into, technical stuff unless it, works with pre-existing, one of my, fetishes, but, yeah, that there is this, probably, there are some where it's like hentai-esque sort of things, like where it's like one's like literally gone you from, Genshin, and they're, turned, by the tentacles. And can't really go into specific details because YouTube, but yeah. Basically, it does have, the pre-existing thing, which again is booba expansion. And that's mine. That's kind of my main one. And can just switch to, Foxy for best demonstration. Because basically I'll start off, you know, at this level and whoop. You know, go from that to that. So that one with like, you know, gone here it like slowly gets changed. So yeah. And can you believe that's, you know, technically TOS safe, even by YouTube standards? Because you can actually technically, within the TOS, you know, talk about sort of, you know, explicit things. Past me would have been like, wait, that's a thing? And yeah, past me, it's a thing. Anyway, next, go to myself and pretend to be a call girl. Why is this Yakuza 0? I have flashbacks. I'm having Vietnam flashbacks of, you know, the you know, phone call thing. Trying to get, you know, the achievements I never got. Like, that whole thing was a nightmare, and not to mention, very risky for, you know, terms of, you know, TOS, because of how the girls are presented in, you know, that, you know, mini game. Yeah, again, I sweat bullets every goddamn time something sus happens in Yakuza. Like, please don't be the time it kills my channel. Please, please, for the love of God, do not kill me, YouTube. Yeah, no, it's only YouTube. I only worry about the YouTube snipers. The Twitch snipers are like more chill and understanding, and they're like, well, I only snipe you if you really do something that's, you know, bad or against the thing. So they're a bit more chill, but YouTube is like automatic and ready to fire at any millisecond. Yeah, I guess I have to be a call girl. I guess I'll just be like, hi there. Who's calling? I'm just going Yakuza 0 route on this. I'm Orange Puppets, or Sebastian. Don't really use my actual name here on stream, but yeah, I'm 22. Yeah. Streaming is a hobby of mine. I see ya. Streamer, content creator. Aren't all streamers like that kind of crazy? I guess, in a way, yes. But, you know, what's life without a lot of fun? Not every single, you know, streamer, YouTuber, whatever, is necessarily bad. Although there's always some. Always some. I see. Well, I guess it's time for you to ask me something about me. Then the options, like, you know, appear, like the bubbles that you gotta shoot. Yeah, and I'm just going Yakuza 0 route on this, like, should I ask her about hobbies? Should I ask her about fashion? Should I ask her about thing? I'll shoot for hobbies. What are some of your hobbies? Well, oh, now I gotta come up with the hobbies for her for this scenario. I like tennis. And I'm generally sporty. Like sports, but tennis is the main thing. Ah, interesting. And then, you know, cue a lot of conversation. This is going on a bit too long, but yeah. Cue, like, more options, like, where then she, like, asks, hey, like, what, would you describe yourself as, and then it pops up with, like, different options, and yeah. Anyway, I feel like I've done this bit for long enough to count for the dare. But, you know, the option, you know, I'd probably go with is crazy but kind, if that's an option on the thing. But yeah. Alright, let's move on. Really just went full on Yakuza 0 route there. Even if it did cause me, like, flashbacks, they are the non-flashbacks for myself. Oh, what age did I watch Corn for the first time? Ooh, this is a good question. I'm now gonna try and extrapolate, because it was probably, you know, like, you know, 12, 13, whatever, when I, you know, discovered, you know, the group, whatever, thanks to not Lara, but yeah, again, Amanda in Lara Croft Legends, or Legend, whichever it is, but yeah. So how long would it have been before I went to something like Rule 34? Because I never really went on the hub. I'm not really a hub person. So, what age would it been? Would I have been doing it at 13? I feel like no. Because at 13, that was 2015. Back then, I was still in my phase of still watching, like, Minecraft, but was slowly transitioning over to more mature things like Markiplier and stuff. Where I watched some of the first Markiplier content I would, like a date with Markiplier. Fittingly enough, because that was 2015, I believe. Because that was like for Valentine's Day. Let me check. It was 2015, right? It's been so long. No, it was 2017. It was 2017 for that. And hello, Le Doggo, welcome. So I guess Markiplier came in a bit later than I was expecting. But still, like, probably was like by 2016 had probably switched over to Mark, Jack and stuff. Mainly probably Mark. So Corn, when have I found it for the first time? If 2015 was like that transition period. Because yeah, again, that's also 2015 when I got my Steam account. First game being the Stanley Parable that time ago. And this is the year where my Steam account comes 10 years old in October. 10 years, a decade of Steam for me. So if that was kind of the discovery and transition period, probably been 2016 or 2017. Would it be in 2016? Like, I feel like 2016 was still a bit too early. Because if I remember correctly, yeah, I was still like in that period of where I had, discovered Lagoop, but didn't really do it because I, was, self-conscious of it. So, yeah. Especially since, my dad figured out and realized that the times, so yeah. So it probably would have been 2017. I would have to guess by the age of, 15. That seems about right. And it would have been something on Rule 34. So yeah. So yeah, I'm going to go with 2017, which is weird because it doesn't feel like long time ago, like, but it's been, like 8 years, like almost a decade. In some ways it feels like a long time ago, and in others it doesn't. Right, really went to the depths of my mind to figure out an estimate of 2017. And again, why is this box there? Lick an object from the box. What box? Which box is it talking about? These crates? There's nothing in them. This box? Lick a drill? Just lick. Finding a drill in real life, I don't think I would be doing, so yeah. So it's like half failure, half success. Which would apply to a rule of where it's in the middle, where it could be punished, but also I try my best given things. Describe the perfect cat or dog. Me personally, it'd be a cat. I feel like the perfect cat would be like a chill cat. It's like someone who vibes, but also can, love the cat, just be, friend. Cool, friends, for as long as, the cat lives. So, cool, chill, loving, wholesome friend. And cats are pretty easy to take care of, so yeah, I guess that's a plus. Yeah, in the Delve, where I have to send myself 100 USD despite I am Australian. Like, where am I gonna get 100 USD when I'm poor and not in America? Yeah, and if I want to succeed that day, I have to remember to do that for myself at some point in the future. Some arbitrary time in the future. When you listen to music, do you imagine yourself as a character in the music clip? Probably not most of the time, but probably at least once or twice. I don't really put myself in anything I listen to. But imagine myself in this situation. Definitely would put myself into other things, like my own creation, but that's my own creations. Show at myself how you can be. I don't even know how to safely do it, do it in a way where it's I guess, kinky. So how would I show it to myself if I don't even know myself? Just slap some booty cheeks. But that might be too violent, who knows? If you could give yourself advice to yourself at age 15, what would it be? Yeah, again. Number 1, get job experience early. And since it's 15-year-old me, they have, 2 years to, basically, well, actually 3, get job experience before 18, so it should be more than possible. The second would be to, advise myself of, the future with, streaming and recording stuff, and be like, hey me, this is what we do in the future. We do characters. In 3 years' time, you're gonna meet someone named Kim or Neko. Well, actually, their name initially was Wheezing Nuts, but their name nonetheless is Kim, and they will forever change your life, and you're not gonna, miss a second of it, and be streaming on both YouTube and Twitch from the beginning. So learn OBS, learn, editing, learn that all, so that when it's time, you are ready to have, a important part of your life, and not lose a lot of it as a distant memory. And plus, with that way, it would ensure that, can remember friends like Tricky Stir. So, it's a win-win-win. Remember, Rogers have all the Rogers stuff from the very beginning. like basically be ready from the beginning, because that way when the inevitable bad stuff does happen, because I doubt history will change its course too much, that when, history inevitably repeats, at least more of its, will be, remembered, more of a complete picture, more of stuff, and yeah. Because it would suck to lose everything. Try to sell your socks to someone. Anyone wanna buy slightly used, Star Wars socks? Currently I have my Stormtrooper pair on, and it will not decrease your accuracy. It won't. It's a myth. Don't let the movies fool you. And no, I have not used my socks in that way like some weird people. I have never splooshed into socks. Why do people do that? I guess it's because it's kind of like, I guess, closest thing to, trying to, put into something. But I don't know, I just, do it without socks. So yeah, you can be assured that there will be no, semen with it. And no the accuracy. Or there was that one time that I was oddly really inaccurate. Maybe it does have some effect, but don't think about that. We need to sell it. Have you ever had a dream that you remember for the rest of your life? Yeah, well, it's not technically a dream, but a nightmare. The oldest nightmare I can remember, where I was young and me and my friend at the time, dealing with, like robot doctors, nurses, like nightmare nurses and doctors. I think they were robots. Can't remember exactly, but yeah. That's the oldest sort of dream, and I don't think I'm gonna forget. Again, a bit more of a nightmare, but yeah. For next two moves, whoever the ball is pointing at, you'll spin them around. I can't spin them around, but I can make myself technically spin. All I need to do is spin. I won't be able to spin when I sit. But I can spin when I'm out of the chair. what won't you ever try in, uh, yeah, I'm just gonna call it sex. For, you know, female sex, because that's, you know, because I'm straight. And, you know, ladies, so yeah. But, I don't know why I would not try. I guess probably more like stuff like, you know, BSM sort of stuff. Like, I personally would not feel safe tied up, even if I trust the person. Just part of me would be like, I'm not comfortable with not being in control. Like, I don't want to be controlled by gods or whatever, you know. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a situation with limited or no control. Even if I 100% absolutely trust the person. I mean, maybe I would. But I feel like, you know, I have to have zero doubt in my mind. And if I have doubt, it's kind of concerning for a relationship. So yeah, I guess doubt will be potentially there no matter what, so who knows. But yeah, it's, you know, what I relatively think of. Dress for a funeral. So I need a sort of black outfit, you know, adorned in black. Like, who has the most funeral-esque thing? Oddly enough, you know, Jay is like good for a funeral. Got like a suit sort of deal. Just remove the obvious yellow and stuff. The other black sort of outfits are probably a bit too informal. Like, wouldn't be wearing that at a funeral. No, like this. Like, or it'd be just fine for, you know, Undyne to be like, show up at funeral, like, I'm here for a funeral, this is all I have. That's like, you know, black clothing. feel like same sort of applies to Runa. How's Virgil's fit? Like, he's got like the, collar stuff and all that. He's very fancy. I feel like it might be a bit too fancy for a funeral. If Virgil Lord, the storm that is approaching is loading. It's not too eccentric and actually is mostly like blacks. Oddly enough, Virgil's fit is probably good. So we got like Jay and Virgil are two good examples. Michael's in black, so technically his is good. It's a bit strange though to have like a military guy just show up at a funeral. But if that's how I showed up, I guess, they can be like one holding some, I don't know, bits of it. Like, here lies Orange Puppet, he was a dear comrade. Honestly, Stewart is the best. Best funeral looking outfit out of any of them. Like, Virgil, via clothes. But Stewart just, looks like they would be ready for a funeral at any time. And to be fair, the funeral might be caused by Rogers, so yeah. Oh yeah, I'm still in the gym outfit. Undying at a funeral and gym attire. Oh man. Anyway, next truth. If you could start life again at the age of 10, but with all the knowledge and experience saved, would you do it? I feel like, yeah, I'd probably do it. Because at least you're not starting at like baby age. It always sucks that if you were to restart your life, you gotta go through, baby toddler stages. But this time you're starting at 10, which means, got some, age to you. So yeah, I would do it. I would, because then, yeah, again, I can make some, get job experience early, make some that, yeah, again, I am ready for, December of, 2020, like, and this time, it's before 15, so I have even more time to, you know, prepare, you know, get used to things. So yeah. And it'll be a bit of a strange thing to be like to my parents, like, yeah, I'm the future me, I've come back into my 10-year-old body. In about 8 years' time, there's gonna be, you know, coronavirus and a bunch of other stuff, you know, happens. Yeah. The world's in for some interesting times. Like, there's definitely would be some interesting times ahead. But yeah, I definitely would. If it's a language I don't know, then how am I gonna insult myself with a language I don't know? I mean, there's languages that I relatively don't know, but I know insult words like me, you are puta. You are puta. You are baka. You are any other word for / idiot. Except I know Japanese a bit more. But not really a lot. Not enough to technically know the language. Just the basics. So, but the Puta one's a bit higher, given I don't really, you know Spanish that well. Is Spanish, right? Puta's Spanish, correct? I think. Have you seen someone get hit by a train in real life? No. Jesus Christ. If I had, that would have been a seriously traumatic, experience. I might be, fudged up from stuff, but I haven't seen anything like that. Jesus. Say, I want to sit on this ball. Okay. Gotta try and be seductive. Okay, yeah. I want to sit on this bottle. I don't know if that was any good. I'll just have to assume it was alright and leave at that. what era would you want to be reborn in? So eras. So you got like probably different eras like Roman, like blah blah blah. I'm probably still want and I really don't want to change from what I already know, so I'd be born in the modern era. But what is the modern era exactly? Because it's modern era is sort of like that there's different phases. Because you got like early technology, in that phase, and then you got like sort of like smartphone phase. So I don't want to potentially go too forward, otherwise I might end up going from Z to Alpha, and that's just no, I don't want to be in Alpha. But if I go with early, I might end up being millennial, which is alright. I guess I'd be fine with being a millennial. So, yeah, might have to go with earlier just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to be an alpha with going with, sort of the, smartphone era. So yeah, I guess that'd be the era I go for, meaning most likely I'm a millennial, or at the very, technically youngest of that era, depending on how much you stretch it, could end up hitting like 2000, 2001, which means I'd be a year older or two. So there's a chance I still end up as like a Gen Z, because being born in 2002, I'm one of the older, Gen Z's relatively. Not form, but yeah. Like, again, what's the years of Gen Z exactly? There's always like 1,000 different ones. But according to Bing, 1997 to 2012. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, so yeah, relatively, I'm 10 years older than the last Gen Z, so they still be, the youngest would still be like 12 turning 13, which is crazy to think of. And hi, Ivana, welcome. So yeah, but yeah, just to be on the safe side, I would go earlier, I guess, early, you know, technology of the modern, you know, internet age, you know. I wonder if there would be a mid-age, because then that's just like exactly, you know, right on the nail, Gen Z. Meaning Gen Z are mid. I guess it's fitting, given that's kinda, I think, a word that was probably formulated by sort of our generation / I guess the millennials. But yeah, I guess it's fitting that we're the mid ones. Huh. We are the literal definition of mid. And I think technically sort of the middle generation, as they would call it. So yeah, we are literally mid. For, you know, our technical sandwich of things from millennials to alpha. But yeah, just for the safe side, I still probably go with early. I definitely enjoy VRChat. You could say that when I have at this point, let me pull up 3,000 500 hours and counting. So yeah, I definitely quite enjoy the game. And if you're referring specifically to, I guess, this map, the Truth or Dare one, this one's a pretty good variant. Pretty good, you know, variant of the map. But yeah. Later. For off-stream times. That there will be inevitably fulfilled. I can't believe that's actually down the thing. Later, post-stream. I wonder if there would be any way to theoretically, get away with it on stream. I would doubt it. I would doubt. Would you publish someone else's nudes to get revenge? No. I find other ways of being, creative in my revenge, but I won't stoop so low. If I want revenge, I'm gonna be creative. And not mean, but still kinda, like, I'm gonna get ya. In a way where it's just they suffer. Show myself how to drink alcohol when I have personally not drunk. And yeah, again, I'm 22. I guess just do it in moderation, me. Don't be crazy. Especially for a first timer. And yeah, again, I don't have to drink, it's just how to. But yeah, this map is definitely pretty good. Oh, I might quickly take a break, before continuing. Let's get back into this. And hi, Neat Kuna or Neat G. Welcome again. Now on YouTube versus Twitch. Have you ever been tied up? Nope. I missed whichever was probably the last one you wanted instead on you. Whatever that was. Curse not having a second monitor. Yeah, again, my second monitor is dead. Dust. It is out of order. It lasted some time, but in the end it was a second-hand monitor from an op shop, so couldn't do much. And try to guess, I know my, zodiac and, star signs, I'm a warhorse, and star sign is Cancer, the crab. I don't need to guess, I know. When it's me, there's no need of guessing. Who in this company would definitely survive the zombie apocalypse? Would I definitely survive? I mean, I've played a lot of Resident evil and stuff. I feel like, you know, just for the fact of, you know, knowledge and good know-how of zombies would be to my benefit. Even some of knowing knowledge of some of the most absurd zombies. Although, if Nemesis is staring at me in the face, I'm like, where am I gonna find an umbrella, you know, rail cannon thing, you know? Like, if he's chasing me down, like, I'm like, have to pray and hope to God that the technology is also somehow here. While he's chasing me down, being like, stars. Oh, I'm not a Stars member. But yes, I created Michael a Starman, so close enough. And I made a variant of stars, so... Yeah, and what did I call them exactly again? The special team of anomalous reduction or research specialist, something like that. But I feel like I went with reduction versus research just because everything's, you know, death, no living anymore, no peace, no pacifism, only death because of darkness. Darkness effectively derailed the idea of, you know, Michael ever truly being a pacifist, than the fact that, you know, most games have violence to some degree, like, it's unavoidable, so most of the times it is shoot problem to get rid of it. Occasionally maybe punch or stab problem, but most of the time it's shoot. But if I would definitely survive, because knowledge-wise, I'm good. Physically though, would I? It's not like I'm drastically out of shape, just I've not really had any proper exercise in like ever. So even though I'm, you know, not like far overweight, I'm still technically unfit. So, yeah. I mean, it depends because, yeah, again, some zombies are... Usually zombies are slower. It's runners that would... If there's a running type of zombie, like a fast zombie, that's where, you know, that'd be problems. Because I would definitely have to fight against the fast zombies. And my strength isn't probably that much easier, you know, that much. So if it's the fight's easy or not, it's I don't know. I feel like I can't say I would definitely survive. My chances are good with some bits, but also not that great in others, so my greatest strength is knowledge. Like the amount of things that I would know about zombies. You know, I could probably determine the different types of zombies pretty quickly. Like, this zombie's more like slow, this one's more fast. You know, I probably pick up on all that stuff very quickly. Surviving, though, would be challenging. The only way I would definitely survive is if there were others with me. And given I still live at home, those chances are a lot higher. But definitely is still hard to determine. So I'll just say no, I would not. No one in this party is surviving. A pie of one and done. And hi, Clab. Welcome. Sure, myself, how can be hard. Well, hug's basically, you know, like, hug. I guess there's technically different types. Most people probably might not be too full-on comfortable with like a full-on, you know, like bear hug. But, you know, there's, you know, different hugs, like light hug, normal hug, bear hug, yeah. Would you like to have a slave? Who would it be from this game? A slave. Hey, if I'm having a slave, a quote-unquote slave, Jagan, it'd be a clone me. And slave is, Jagan, not the word I would probably use. Especially for legal reasons, but yeah, a second me would be, again, very good. Because they can do work for me. And if it had to be from this game, does it mean in lobby or just technically anything, which could include avatars? So if it's lobby, then can it just still be me? So let's go avatars. Who would be best technical slave of my picks? You know, I can cheat with Michael because Michael can do everything, like, but I feel like we gotta keep it to the character, so it's now just generic MTF versus Michael. Gotta keep it relatively generic in some cases. Some will still be the same, like Roger's. Only Michael's excluded because Michael's way too powerful. I mean, there's other powerful people like Dimentio, but at least with Dimentio, even he has his own, limits. And plus, as long as he doesn't, do his dimensional stuff, should be fine. But he can live up to 11th dimension or something. So yeah, watch out. Honestly, Dimentio might be too powerful in some regards as well. Like anyone that's godlike might be too powerful for things to be my technical slave if I'm going avatar route versus room route. So, engineer, he's a smart guy. He can get tech stuff done. He can make stuff. I don't know how useful, sentry guns would be, but dispensers could have some use. Teleporters also could have some use. He'd be a good assistant. We'll just go with that. Not slave, but assistant. Raiden? I mean, he's a warrior dude. Guess good at fighting. I don't know what regular things he'd be good at. Probably has, cooking skills. When he isn't, slicing up senators. So far, engineers winning this contest. Felina. Police, so good at defending. Probably good at, and taking care of herself. Nuts if she's taking care of you as an assistant. Yeah, Felina could be a good assistant. MTF. Good security guards in general. This particular one specializes with fires, so if there's a fire, he can deal with it. And then there's the fire causer, the fire starter. Actually, two fire starters. Rogers and Moop Boop. Them as assistants, I don't know. You have different problems for both of them, and some problems would overlap, like arson. They're not particularly that good. So yeah. At least, with all this dying for, they have something like Raiden and MTF are good security people. Felina has a balance of security and probably, taking care of just general stuff. Stuart. Now, this is the definitive assistant. He is literally assistant Stuart, originally, before he's now investigator. He went up in the world. But it's like the definitive, like, if anyone's technically my slave/assistant, Stuart would be one of the best. Stuart be a good man to have as an assistant, because Stuart has dealt with a lot, so that they know how to get stuff done. Connor also be good. A computer would not be really good in, anything physical, but tech-wise, probably be on par, if not better than NG. Like, them as your loyal assistants for this scenario would be, that they'd be probably good one. For tech stuff. Not so good because they don't have hands. They only really can interface with technology. They're basically like Alexa or Google Home, but way smarter. Being a proper AI, even if it's running on like an old computer. Surprisingly sophisticated for the technology it's tied to. So, really good in tech, not good in other things. So, it'd still probably be like one of the others have to be the top one so far. I'm leaning towards Valena since they have a good balance of, lots of stats. Maybe not as much the tech one, but yeah. New music has started playing. I'll probably turn it down a bit just in case. But yeah, gotta continue to think about assistance. Okay, Tonka. They're good security one, and having the stand star platinum is probably a plus. I haven't really yet again accounted for powers too much. Like, Rogers is half ghost, so he can go through roofs but not walls. Which is weird, but that's how he operates. Basically, he can phase technically up and down. Well, down less so. He's kind of limited to just up, only up. Oh yeah, Boop Boop's technically a god because of my thing. Despite their negative things, I guess they have to technically be off the list because I don't want anyone overpowered. No gods. Platinum's alright because it's, godlike, stopping time, but it's not godly. If that makes any sense. PizzaCon. Well, the benefit of them is you always have pizza. You can guarantee pizza is something you get from them if they're your assistants. Frisk is a kid, but surprisingly talented. So, yeah, and it'd be child slave. We're going into child slavery, brilliant. It was inevitable one of them would be that. God damn. Oh my god, the Among Us one. I don't think I could count it. The Among Us one is a god one. The Among Us one is a god one just because Infinite Among Us, it's too good of an assistant / slave. Giant clock. Well, really good attack, terrible at doing everything else. It's basically like the computer, but attack versus intelligence. Both can't practically do much, physically wise, but they have the best, of certain stats, like the giant Glock literally has a giant explosive bullet that can fire, like, I think a sizable distance. It's basically like a giant floating cannon as a gun. So no one would mess with you. Yeah. Explosive con. This assistant would get themselves killed because they're Jaeger explosive. They're a bit too potentially detrimental to their own safety and yours. To be fair, they might be able to just regenerate because there's multiple times where I, lose the top half and it's just legs and they come back. So they might be able to regenerate. That might be a positive, but it's a bit too much of a loose cannon. Felena's still probably best pick. The anime cat girl is pretty much probably similar to Felena, except the fact that and Felena with assist, I feel like she has a lot of life skills, and even though she might not be the most techie wise, you still know how to use tech. So yeah. Like, sure, she's not making sentries or making some advanced, program, but she can operate things. Probably be good at, security systems and all that. Jimmy. This one I can count because he's not really fully a god. So we're mainly considering him in his spawn days. Spawn is really good. Probably better than the big lock, because despite, big lock is very dangerous, it might be too dangerous, where Jimmy's too dangerous in a good way, because if he's your loyal assistant, you can guarantee he's getting things done. And yeah, probably has some life skills too. Honestly, a good contender against Velena. Honestly, probably would beat Velena just because Spawn versus regular security guards. So yeah, got the real life attack balance like her, and a bit more on the tech side, a bit smarter, good with their eyes and stuff. So tech stats also would be a race. Jimmy is just Velena but better, basically. Has balanced stats but better. Well, except for attack, where it's just absurd because fast run, good at fighting, good armor, like their attack is absurd. Oh, Lord Vader, a bit of a choke you case. That's a downside that you probably wouldn't want, despite the Force. Kenobi's more your guy. Kenobi actually be probably insane. Less armor in general, like real reduction in how much they can technically protect themselves. But the attack is also with the lightsaber, that's a bit of height, gain, and the Force, so Kenobi actually might beat Jimmy. Kenobi is, I think, our new contender. Noble 6 is on the same sort of level as Jimmy. Not much to compare. D-Luke doesn't have the Force. I think I'm gonna start going through them quicker. Door person, open realities. Don't know how good they would be realistically in the fight. Probably decent, given the places they've been to. I mean, they probably can survive no matter what. Probably decent intelligence. Yeah, but still, the greatest attribute is to use the doors to get away. So it's basically doors versus the Force. I feel like the Force is more generally probably useful, or the doors can be useful. Killer Frenzy one, they can fight. Probably have life skills, but no Force. 9 cat gun, yeah. Miku, Yagan Cop, in that form, I don't know, they don't really have something special. No, Spawn, not really. Oh, G-Man Legoshi. This is an interesting case where it's 2 individuals as one. Would it have Legoshi's personality sort of imposed on the G-Man. Basically more of a G-Man that would potentially help than hurt. A G-Man that looks out for the best interest of all species because it knows the divide between, carnivores and, herbivores in its own world before it became, mythical. Honestly, bending reality, is that too godlike is the question. Bending reality, we gotta draw a line somewhere. They can alter reality, but it has to be fair is the thing. It has to be an eye for an eye sort of deal. Eli lives, Visor dies. A nudge for a nudge, an eye for an eye. So their powers are definitely very powerful, but do have their limits. Potentially, unless no employers, free agents could potentially do way more. I guess they can't be on the table. We already covered technically regular MTF, so the fire one, so a regular one wouldn't factor in that much. Aerosands. They're agent of destruction. I don't think that's a good assistant. If they turn against you, and they're potentially loyal. But given the thing of slave, I rather not. Too risky if they just choose nah, I'm done. Oh, anomalies, again, too risky. Basil and Dream Basil. So basically a hallucination, might not even be able to tangibly interact with existence. That's not grand. Lamine, but you're Lamine. So assassin and adventurer. Still Kenobi has the Force, so yeah. Despite elemental stuff, and they can use any elements, they're basically, the avatar of, Genshin. It's not enough, I think, against the Force. Although it's cool. I think I'm just genuinely biased towards the Force, so yeah. Ina and Thick Ina, well, they're fighter, definitely. Good fighting. Also, the Uno reverse card god, that is a pretty powerful item they have in their kits. To literally say no you to anything. Because it's an item from God, not godlike powers, which means it's godly, godlike, yeah, it's godly, but not godlike in this case. But yeah. Does the Uno card beat the Force? I mean, technically yes, because it's the ultimate Uno card. It is the Uno card of God. So it beats the Force. It technically beats anything. And be the one exception I would allow. So now Ina's winning. Just because of one item. And Yayan probably has good life skills. I mean, Ina's a good worker. Like, Ina's good at attack. I can't really say for their, intelligence stat because of the weird world they come from. Their intelligence is both negative and positive simultaneously because of the weird world they come from. And I don't know how it's possible, but they both have negative and positive intelligence. So they both be really, well, not really dumb, just be capable of things beyond imagination. So, Arlene is winning. Foxy stands no chance, honestly, just compared to, the Half-Life tram as a slave. Really going absurd here for this question. Really, really absurd for this. I don't think it'd be a good assistant. The most it assists you to do is get to Sector C. It has one job. I mean, it fulfills that job perfectly, but it is literally only an assistant in transportation. Anything else, it doesn't help. So yeah, Ina's winning. Oh, Virgil. Now Virgil technically, I think, respects Yume after the events of Devil May Cry 5. So it means they, hopefully be somewhat chill. If or if not, he helps. Probably only be if he gets power out of it. So I feel like just for that fact, I wouldn't be able to keep him long term. So Ina's still winning. And we covered spawns, and even the Master Chief, unfortunately, I don't think could stand up to Uno card. Majima as a Nachi. Yeah, they don't have Uno. You don't have Uno. It's Freeze. Fork. Still, I feel like in some ways Majima could be cool. If not, they be any less or more so in the Nachi form is to be seen. Rorschach, I mean, they seem pretty chill, like, so, yeah. But for the terms of the question, still Uno card of God is too useful. Blind girl, wholesome blind girl. She might not be able to see, but we will protect her until the end of existence. Like, and I don't want Yegan go into the child slavery thing, so she's off the list automatically. If it is purely a slave and not an assistant, but we can't. Same for Amriots, too precious. Or someone designed to be sort of servants, the murder drones. And I'm technically going with any because this one can be literally anything from V to N to J, so it's interchangeable for the terms of the thing. But still, reverse Uno card's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat a godly item. Yeah, and Star Platinum also is godly with its time stop. But Uno God card is just the benefit of a robot is they're mortal. Like, they are mortal. Ina's potentially not. The robot will last, and we know that they regenerate, kind of like Terminator. So, Murder Drone is the only real contender, just given that longevity. And if it's pure slave angle, kind of program to follow, where Ina's their own free agent. I mean, technically, the drones are free agents as well, but yeah, hopefully, can be again more friends and not full-on slave relationship forever, as the question dictates. So yeah. But if need be, could potentially shut it down, but a murder drone is dangerous. That's the only thing if it goes rogue, is it's a wild card. I mean, anyone's dangerous potentially as a wild card if they go rogue. I mean, the Uno reverse card god being used against me if Ina went rogue would be a pretty bad negative. The main reason she stayed as the top so far, but could be a huge negative. I feel like in a couple, I think I'll have a robot that I think might be the new top pick, because now thinking about the negative of reverse card, I think I know a better robot, but currently Murder Drones is the top now, thinking about the negatives. Plus good attack, good intelligence, good on all things. The Hyenids don't really have a lot. They're strong, but yeah. Luna is very good at fighting. Intelligence is alright. doesn't. Ooh, does actually have the immortality factor, given technically dead in a way. Oh, not. She's not a human soul, but yeah. In hell. Ooh. Has the immortality angle, but could be killed by angels. I mean, as long as there's no angels that you've messed with, Luna could be good. Because to defeat a murderer, you need to deal a considerable amount of damage. And even Jay, who seemed to be dead, lived. For Luna, it's angels. But can demons kill demons? It's not really established if demons can really kill fellow demons, you know. If, like, she could be killed by, like, an imp or something. So I guess I'll stick with the Murdrones. Pumpkin Fox, Now, probably a better robot, because they're not directly one designed for death. Although they do have like the tail with the spike thing, but that's a optional part. They also have horns, but that's also optional. Yeah, again, optional parts might be a key way of making certain I don't get stabbed if they do rebel. So Runa might be better choice than Murdrone. So Runa, I think, is top so far. Officer Ran, yeah. Task Manager, literally a servant. Literally the definitive. And they're techie, they are probably immortal. Probably, like, immortal. And kinda live to serve. So, Runa could go rogue AI, but Task is literally... I think Task is good, like good attack, probably pretty good intelligence given, you know, network stuff, like honestly might have really good intelligence. Like immortal, and yeah, honestly Task is probably the best assistant slave for the terms of the question. And then lastly Undyne, she wouldn't. She would not. So yeah, I think Task. That's gotta be one of the longest troops. So long, in fact, that this will be the final thing. The final dare. Pretend to be a delicious waffle. I guess I'll be a waffle. I'm a waffle, I'm a delicious waffle. I have maple syrup on me. And I have brain damage. Now referencing Asif movie up. But yeah, I'm a delicious waffle. Eat me or not, it's your choice. But I'm just a delicious waffle. But yeah, guess the last thing. And Nietzsche, yeah, I guess I would have to agree. Luna is, attractive, so yeah. I would too. Yeah, and smash for Luna. But yeah, either way, that's truth or dare. So that'll be a wrap for the video. So thanks for watching the video. I'll also be end of stream, but yeah, I'll be ending that, in a second, but yeah, thanks for those watching the video later. Peace, thank you, and goodbye.